Yes, I'd like to welcome everybody to Clarence Miles in the Community Show. We're here at the historical Langston Dwellers here. Today we are here with a most beautiful young lady that I had met for over 25, 30 years who gave me an opportunity almost, 12 years ago when I started my own youth program. She didn't know it though, but she gave me an opportunity. But we have been working together now for the last 20 years, Marshell Middelton, with the Ward 5 Drug Free Coalition. And among other things that she have great experiences working with the youth and working with the community for over how many years? This is Marshell Middelton.
I've been working in the community for about 40 years. And I've had the pleasure of running programs all over DC, from Kenilworth Gardens to King Greenleaf, Park Martin, and now here at Langston. Also did a few things over in Southeast as well. I have truly enjoyed our partnership. We've been able to put on and host a number of community events, as well as working with young people. As the program coordinator with the Ward 5 Drug Free Coalition, our mission is to work with community-based organizations and schools and churches and civic organizations to educate them on the issues that are impacting our community today, especially those that are substance abuse driven. We also seek to educate and engage our young people to become leaders and advocates in the fight against substance abuse that is really racking so many low-income communities, not just here in the district, but basically across the country. And the only way that we can really be effective to bring about change is to work head-on with folks in the community, such as Clarence and other organizations that we've had the privilege of partnering with. Just last week, we were able to partner with the resident council here at Langston, and we hosted a fentanyl Narcan training. And this training is so essential with individuals ODing every day from fentanyl. We need to be able to save a life if it comes to that. This past weekend, and I'm sure many of you might have seen it on the news, we had cadets that were on spring break, and several of them OD'd off of fentanyl. Had they had and were resuscitated once 911 was called with the use of Narcan. So again, we will be hosting another training here at 701 in collaboration with Clarence, and folks will be receiving information about that later on.
Good, good, Marshall. Again, you're with the Ward 5 Drug Free Coalition. And what is the Ward 5 Drug Free Coalition? You just gave us so much great information just now, but I didn't get a chance to see what is the Ward 5 Coalition and what is it about and how did it get started?
Okay, to give you my elevator speech, okay? That's what I call it, all right? The Drug Free Coalition is one of about 300 or more coalitions across the country. And we are funded with a small grant, and I call it small because it's $125,000, and it comes out of the Office of National Drug Control Policy from the White House. It is managed through the Center for Disease Control out of Atlanta. Our primary mission, once again, is to reduce as best we can through collaboration with agencies and schools and churches and people to reduce the negative impact of substances and alcohol within the community through the process of education, and also working together to change specific policies that have a way of being more lenient and promoting substance use as opposed to reducing substance use. And we really want to reduce the onset of substance use by youth, particularly as it relates to the smoking and eating of marijuana. It has been proven that a young person's brain does not truly stop developing until they are 25 years of age, and that the use of substances has the ability to impact that brain development negatively. And we want to see if we can get that message out. And who better to deliver the message than young people themselves? Because they will listen to a peer faster than they will listen to me. So we seek to educate our young folks so that they can become leaders within the community, to talk to other young folks about the dangers of substance and alcohol use, particularly here in the Washington community.
So my question is, do you think that the Ward 5 Drug-Free Coalition is making a difference in the community? I think that we are in Ward 5, right? Do you
Yes.
think that the coalition is making a great difference? I'm quite sure that y'all have been established for many years, and I understand great work that y'all have done, and I understand about the great information that y'all receive. But my question today is, what do you think? You know, and don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm quite sure as people, as workers and stuff, we're going to say, well, our place, are we making a difference with the Ward 5 Drug-Free Coalition here in the community?
I believe that we are truly making a difference, here in the community. I would like to, first of all, point directly to the work that we're doing in the schools and hosting various events, such as our famous Rock That Mic for Prevention.
Rock the mic.
Rock the Mic for Prevention, in which we promote young people coming and presenting their original spoken word pieces in a competition. And the young folks decide who the winners are, and they're able to win prizes as much as $300. They range from $300 all the way down to $75. We have hosted a Rock That Mic at McKinley, at Brown Educational Center, and a citywide Rock That Mic that has taken place at Howard University. We also have been very effective in getting new policies adopted here in the District of Columbia, although with the passage of Initiative 71, and that is the law that legalizes the possession of marijuana for your personal use, which is in confusion. A lot of people think that marijuana is legal. It is legal for you to possess up to 3 ounces of marijuana, but marijuana is still illegal to be sold on a commercial basis. You can even grow 6 plants at your house if you choose to. But if you try to sell some of the 6 plants that you have harvested, you are now in violation of the law. So it is real important that young folks understand what that means, and also to help them to understand how, when they use social media to promote negative behavior, that post on social media can stay with them throughout a lifetime and actually have an adverse effect on choices that they want to make further down the road that is going to enhance their own individual growth and development in a professional way. So we work real hard for them to get to understand, don't put your business on social media. That is not the place for it to go. And even though your Instagram may dissolve within 3 minutes, it has not dissolved from social media per se. They can pull it up whenever they want to. So those are just some of the activities, and also within the community. We were very effective in working with the Ward 8 Drug-Free Coalition and the Ward 8 Prevention Center in getting legislation passed that had to do with drug paraphernalia, and to eliminate drug paraphernalia being sold at the local mom and pop store, at the gas stations, and at the liquor stores, and it was really working. However, when the marijuana initiative was passed, then individuals became very comfortable once again in the sale of drug paraphernalia, at their outlets. It is still not as prevalent as what it used to be. We will be working real hard because at some point in time, the actual commercialization and sale of marijuana is going to take place in the district. And we want to make sure that through the coalition, we're able to mobilize individuals that can have an impact on where these new commercial stores are going to be located, to make sure that they're not located next to schools, to make sure that these distribution outlets are not located adversely within the community, that hopefully they will be placed strategically in specific commercial areas and not within residentially zoned communities. And that will also enable us, to monitor how they are actually operating. One of the problems that we have right now, we have what are called pop-up parties, And the pop-up parties are where marijuana sellers come to sell marijuana, but they do it very creatively, and not just marijuana, but they're selling marijuana-infused lemonade, edibles, candy, gummy bears, whatever you can, cookies, brownies. And at the pop-up party, they have all these different vendors that come together. They've got a DJ, they've got dancing and everything. And if you go over to the vendor and if you purchase some brownies that are infused with marijuana as a thank you gift, then they may give you a pair of socks. So you see, they aren't exactly selling you marijuana. They're selling you the socks, And you got the marijuana as a gift. So when talking with MPD, they had shared with me that it's in the gray area, So in terms of prosecuting and trying to shut down or limit the pop-up parties, it has really been a challenge. However, there have been some that have been successfully eliminated. One aspect was we were able to influence the Department of Regulatory Affairs to really take a look at some of the clubs who were hosting pop-up parties. And they, in turn, were threatened with the loss of their liquor license if they continued to host these types of parties at their facility.
So could I ask you a question? And you definitely, Ward 5 Drug-Free Coalition is making a great difference here in Ward 5, just as well as around Washington, D.C. But also, I remember some years ago when they had that, they called Scooby Snacks or
Scooby Snacks, yes.
Yes, and y'all was very instrumental changing some type of laws or them selling it into the stores. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Oh, we were
What is
very
that?
effective. That was one of the most effective campaigns that we had. Through that process, we were able to make sure that it was considered an illegal drug and could not be sold in mom and pop stores, at the gas station, basically could not be sold anywhere, okay, legally. They had to take it off the shelf, okay, or from behind the shelf, wherever it was that they kept it, because they were totally losing their minds on this particular drug, which was very, very, very dangerous because it's a chemical and didn't know what was in it. It was considered synthetic marijuana that had been created in a laboratory that was now being shipped in here from China, of course, and in packaging that was very seductive to young people, because it would come as Scooby snacks and come as other little Kool-Aid, sweetened Kool-Aid like you used to buy when you were a kid. So the packaging was very attractive, but you never ever knew what you were going to get, because the chemicals that made up the synthetic marijuana was constantly changing. Therefore, not knowing what kind of reaction was going to take place within the body once you consumed it. So it is no longer easy to purchase here in the district from commercial outlets. Of course, as with anything, it's gone somewhat underground, and you can still get it. And in the summertime, unfortunately, many of our ice cream trucks that are going through the neighborhood selling ice cream, they're also selling other things outside of ice cream.
Cool. So, I know through the pandemic, you had the fentanyl, you had the Scooby snacks that was affecting our community, and they were saying that a lot of times people got involved because of the pandemic. And but then you come up with these laws, and we're talking about not a great amount of Scooby snack or not a great amount of fentanyl have caused people to do some strange things, lose their life, walk in front of cars, just the value of it. And how much that stuff, is it a great value to it, or is it potent, or what is it that make people want to just invest in that and just to transition their life?
Well, it has been proven in so many different studies that when individuals, particularly at a young age, experience various traumas, those traumas may be watching a loved person right beside you get shot down. It might be experiencing homelessness. It might be experience domestic abuse or sexual abuse. All different types of traumas that are going on in a young person's life. They carry over into their adulthood. And even as a young person, you begin to seek an outlet. And that outlet becomes self-medication if you are not being taught or being given a different type of intervention. And unfortunately, drugs dull the senses, and they also have the ability to dull the pain. And if you make that choice that I no longer want to be a part of reality because the pain is just too heavy, but I don't really want to check out, I will just continue to live my life and function in a stupor until at some point you realize that this is not living, this is existing, and then you hopefully will seek help that we are able to provide through the resources that exist here in the District of Columbia.
So what I hear you saying, that there is some help for those who want some help?
Oh, yes.
There's some help for the young people and for the older people?
Yes, for both. What is so good now is that DBH, which stands for the Department of Behavioral Health, and the Department of Behavioral Health is responsible for providing the treatment services. Well, they don't provide them directly, but they contract with various individuals to provide treatment services for persons here in the District of Columbia. A long time ago, you would have to go to the ARC, which is the assessment center that is connected with DBH, and be assessed. And then after you are assessed, then you are referred to a provider, and then you travel over to the provider. Now, you don't have to do that. Now you can go directly to the provider. You can go directly to them and be assessed and be admitted into treatment right then and there on the spot. Hopefully, if they have openings for you. And there is still residential. There isn't a lot, but there is still residential treatment available through Salvation Army and through RAP Incorporated. And I think it's DC Recovery. They might have opened up. I know they were planning to open up somewhat of an inpatient treatment facility. But if you were to text Live Long DC, okay, you can get all that information, all types of information on who's providing treatment services in the district, where to go, and how to access it. It's right there at your fingertips. If you want help, we've got it for you right here in the district. Just reach out and go get it.
Oh, so while you gave that information out, so if someone wanted to contact Ward 5 Drug-Free Coalition, do y'all have an email, telephone number, or how would anyone
right,
get this
you
information?
can email me directly at Marsha, MARSHA, 19, KAYE, at yahoo.com.
Okay.
Okay, and I will respond, and we would love to have you come and be a part of our meetings. We meet every other month, and if you get in touch with me, I will send you a personal invitation to come and be a part of the meeting. And if you have a presentation, information that you would like for us to get on board with and collaborate with you on, please reach out to me. I'm always looking for new collaborations to expand the work that the coalition is doing within the community.
Well, Marshall, I just want to say to you, I thank you for the information. You really made my job much easier today. I thought I could be the man that could be asking about 25 questions, but I got a chance to answer on, a couple of questions, and you was able to share the information that was much needed to the community. This is Clarence Miles in the community. We are talking to Marshell Middelton of the Ward 5 Drug-Free Coalition, and what we are here today is just to pass on information to those who going through substance abuse problem, or those who never are trying to get an understanding. There is a message for those who's not using it, just as those who are abusers. But most of all, we're here to share the help with you and the information that we receive that comes not only from our own experience, but also coming from with the surveys they have, the statistics, and just as well as people who have firsthand knowledge of what it is to make a difference in our community. So again, this is Clarence Miles in the community, and I'd like to thank you again, Marshall Middelton, for being a beautiful panel today. Thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.